No, this is so sad. There are a bunch of white Texas farmers who are losing their farms right now. Because guess what? 100% of their workforce vanished. Wow. So all those people, who got eyes called on them, they were working on the farms. So now that they're gone, they cannot sustain the farms. You know what's crazy about this video? Because I talked about this like 2 months ago when Trump brought over all these South Afrikaners, farm people, where we find out that they were not really even farmers. And I was talking about this and found out that a few of our dear white farmers here had started losing their farms because of promises that were made to them and was not kept by this administration. So now it's trickling down to some other farmers because now their workforce, they're gone. And I was seeing somewhere where somebody came over, and it was a Caucasian man. He came over from Twitter and he was like, y'all, a lot of these farmers, white farmers, they thought that black people were going to come and work for their farms. There's a lot going on in this country right now. Us heading into possibly World War II. But this is a conversation just to kind of talk about right now. That people are kind of seeing I guess, what's the word? I can't even find the word, but the decisions that they made, they are coming back to hunt them. Let's just say that. So sorry to hear this, but yeah. So I do hope that some of these Native Americans that did lose their lands, that they do get back some of these farms that are being lost.
Do you know who they raided in Omaha? What kind of facilities they raided to round up all these brown people? Food packing plants, meat packing, processing facilities, food preparation facilities. It was all food preparation that go to our grocery stores. So, let me just say to you, you better prep, because it's going to take a while for these facilities to get back up and running when all of their workers have been taken away. Do you know that Nebraska and Iowa have the largest food packing facilities? And they just rounded up all their workers. So yeah, food shortages are on the way because of lack of workers.
Down on illegal immigration is starting to affect the Texas agriculture industry. Some farmers say their workers are too scared to show up for work. Fox 4's Casey Stegall spoke with the Texas Agriculture Commissioner about the recent immigration raids. Casey.
Hey, Steve, good to see you. The state Republican Agriculture Commissioner tells me that the stepped up immigration enforcement is taking a toll on the industry, not just here in Texas, but beyond, while federal immigration authorities say they're only doing their jobs. Just 40 miles or so south of the Dallas hustle and bustle,
row crops, hay production,
sits Lee Calvert's 2,000-acre Ellis County family farm.
My father helps me. Obviously, my little sister helps. My wife, huge help. I've got 3 sons, and they're coming along and doing what they can.
Calvert knows he's lucky not having to rely on farm hands to check the chores off, because those who do say absenteeism among hired migrant help has disrupted their entire operations.
They hear that ICE is coming, or they see somebody from INS roll up. Well, they just don't show up. They're scared to come to work.
Texas Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller tells Fox 4 dairy farmers have been hit the hardest.
But on a dairy, those cows, they never stay milked. You milk them 3 times in a 24-hour period. So if the crew doesn't show up, these dairymen go into panic mode.
Are you a U.S. citizen? Do you have documents to be here?
Recent video posted to immigration rights groups' social media channels shows federal agents conducting raids on California farms. President Trump in the last week briefly paused this type of enforcement within a handful of economic sectors which rely heavily on migrant labor, like agriculture. Then it was back to business.
We're enforcing everywhere. In other words, the president has said if you are an illegal immigrant into this country, you ought to voluntarily go back and come through the proper channels.
Folks like Lee Calvert agree there's no place in America for migrants with violent criminal backgrounds, but wishes there was more gray area.
And I think there needs to be a distinction made in a pathway for the people that do want to come here, obey our laws, integrate into our societies, work in our factories, fields, wherever.
So the U.S. Department of Agriculture estimates that more than 40% of the nation's farm workers are undocumented.
It's April 7th, 2025. Our food supply have been compromised since January of 2025. There have been numerous distractions. Some of the distractions are being taken care of by federal judges. However, the fact remains that the deportation started in January of 2025. That means the farms and manufacturing companies are being affected by the deportations. Just because you don't see it being announced on TV doesn't mean the shit ain't happening. We are going to have a food shortage. When he put the tariffs into place, that just put more nails in the coffin for us. Food is not a want, it's a necessity. Everybody needs to eat. The poor, middle class, and rich. And guess what? They all will do what they need to do to get food. So I suggest everybody to start a garden. Community gardens, a necessity. We have disabled individuals. We have sick individuals. And we have our elderly that we will not forget about. So everybody that's already have a garden, please increase it because it's not going to be enough. Please think about other people on this journey because we need to unify. Our children are very important. Please start a garden. You may have to feed some kids on the side of the road. Start a garden. Yes, that's how bad it is. You need to look it up. It's really bad. And I'm not fear-mongering. We actually fucked. So start a garden.
Well, multiple farms in Texas are being shut down because their workforce, about 100% of their workforce vanished. They didn't just vanish overnight, guys. This is not rocket science. You actually used your hands to vote against your personal interest. This same thing happened with the Nebraskan farmers, right? Remember, they are being getting bankrupted because of what they intentionally did, and now they are crying for it. Now, about 5 to 10% of Americans are farmers, but surprisingly, they can literally feed the world because they have a mechanized system of farming. They have vast lands. I mean, a farmland in America looks almost like a state in another country or a country in another continent, right? So now, being that you have a negligible amount of your people being farmers, but yet you produce some of the largest proportions of food in the world. American can literally feed the world, you know. But again, your workforce are not your people. They are mainly illegal immigrants. And you've been underpaying them, cheap labor, right? Exploiting them in a way. But you used your hands and you voted against these people. Now you're crying that, oh, these things are happening. There's going to be food shortages because you woke up one day and said, okay, we're going to vote for the same guy that promised that he's going to help us get these people out. And you know damn well that your people are not going to come out to farm. Are you going to bring out the millennials? Are you going to bring out the boomers? Are you going to bring out the Gen Zs that we all know are not going to be in that scorching sun and fam, guys? It's crazy. Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time, welcome on board. And if this is a content you would like to be coming to watch, please hit on the subscribe button, hit on the like button, hit on the notification button. So guys, these things are getting really crazy because we thought it was not going to affect us. Meanwhile, we know from the get-go that, okay, we use these people, we exploit these people's cheap labor. These people have been farming, they've been doing great job on our farms, they've been making us money. But all of a sudden, you voted against them. Now that they literally vanished overnight. Guys, what do you think? Please drop your thoughts in the comment section. Let's continue with the videos.
Texas is continuing the F around and find out stage. Guess what just hit 0 before Donald Trump's approval rating? Right there. Farm labor attendance, 0. Entire fields, whole crews are ghosting fields, leaving fruits and vegetables to rot because the Donald Trump administration is too busy playing cat and mouse with people who just want to feed America. To the MAGA people who are saying that immigrants are taking your job, this right here is your opportunity. Pick yourselves up by the bootstraps, get those buckets, and pick those strawberries. No more hiding behind those welfare checks that are padded behind blue state dollars. You wanted the raids, you got them. Now get in those fields and pick those fruits and vegetables before you watch the produce aisle turn to a luxury boutique section. Chop chop, MAGA, and that's it.
Rick Ekman says in the 3 days after the tariffs, cattle futures dropped below the point of break even for his farm.
Never had him do this before.
Yeah, he really likes you.
No.
Did you vote for Trump?
No. No, I did not.
Why not?
You want me to be truthful? I think to get to where he's at today, he's stepped on people and he's got no morals, I don't think. I don't like the man. I don't like him.
Why do you think so many of your neighbors do support
I don't know. I guess I don't see anything good about him.
Does it affect the way you think about America?
It scares me.
It's Joe from Georgia. So this is news out of Texas. But folks, these are alarm bells ringing for the entire United States. And our government is not listening. Overnight, multiple farms in the state of Texas completely shut down. And the reason for this shutdown was because they have lost almost 100% of their workforce. Now, we know this is the result of the immigration raids and stricter enforcement, but the ripple effect is going to be felt all the way across this country. Now, you've got crops that are rotting in the fields. You have livestock that is not being attended to at all, and that takes a lot of personnel. And we're talking, so now we're getting every area of food to include meat. And the communities that surround these farms, those businesses and those people who depend on the income from these farms, it's creating disasters for small communities in Texas. Now, this is not stopping at Texas farms. This is going to end up all the way across America, especially in the breadbasket, the middle of the nation, because they have tons of immigrant help. But folks, the alarm bells are ringing. Your food on your plate is being affected. So you got to think about it. It won't be soon until either prices go ridiculously high or you just won't have any food to buy.
That man said he went up on the Twitters and he saw them the white farmers, saying that, oh, well, we thought the black folk were going to come back and do the job. He said that they said the blacks, but he said they were convinced that when they started deporting these non-black people of color, right, that we were going to be taking their places back in the fields. Essentially, they thought they were getting their slaves back, right? They thought slavery was going to come back full force. We were going to be like, oh, okay, let's get on back to them fields, because they don't think black people have jobs. But it makes sense, because remember when Trump said they're taking your black jobs? Y'all remember that? Yeah, what do y'all think he meant by that? He meant the people that are in the fields now, right? Which are the Hispanic community, the Latinos. He meant that they were taking our black jobs. See, because he thinks that black people's job is to be up in the field. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what he thinks. So it all makes sense now. They really thought, these farm owners really thought that black folk, they were going to deport the Hispanics, the Latino community, and that black people were going to go back to the field working for nothing. And they tell us to stop living in the past.